Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am your teacher, Roelik Leong, and today's video is about statement of the problem. Writing a statement of the problem is not an easy task because as a researcher, you have to be very clear in terms of your focus or your research objectives. Okay? Statement of the problem is also known as the purpose statement. Okay? And make sure that in writing the statement of the problem, you will be giving your general statement and specific objectives, which is in the form of questions. So there are important elements that we consider in formulating the general statement. Number one is the main task. It satisfies the questions what to do, especially with the variables that you are using in your research title. Let's say, for example, to associate, to determine, to assess, okay, to look into. These are possible main tasks that you can use for your general statement. Number two is the main and major variables. So it has been discussed already in writing the research title that you must have your major variable. Example, cyberbullying. The impact of cyberbullying, the utilization of mobile games. Okay. Number three, participants. Okay, these are the subjects or our respondents. They will be the ones to participate in your study. And usually we use participant, no? Especially if you are conducting any experimental study. So for basic research, okay, especially descriptive type, we have to use respondents. Okay, make sure you are specifying your respondents. You can say, for example, selected grade 8 students, but do not mention or use the word students because this can be referred to all the students in our country. Number four, the specific setting. Okay, so example, the setting will only be in your school, like Lumban Integrated School. Okay, number five, coverage date of the conduct of the study. So you can say school year or academic year 2022 to 2023. Number six, for developmental research, the intended outputs such as intervention, module, policy, new guidelines. Because in formulating general problem, you have also to state what are you going to do with the result of the study. When you start writing your general statement, it is recommended to use some of the phrases as part of the introduction because your general statement should be in declarative sentence. Example, the main purpose of this research is this study aims to. So we have an example of general problem. Let me read. The main problem of this research is to look into the influence of video games and the utilization of social media on the language proficiency of the freshman students of Layton National High School for the academic year 2022 to 2023. The result of this study will be the basis for the formulation of the guidelines in the development, organization, and implementation of effective study habits. The general problem is followed by the enumeration of specific questions, and they must be in question form. So in terms of research paper writing, we have to come up with researchable questions. but not those questions that are only answerable by yes or no. For example, should senior high school students be good in mathematics when enrolling courses like accountancy? Okay. So when I say researchable question, it must use the WH question like that. That is example what, when, where, why, and how. And then researchable questions are categorized into four: factor isolating, factor relating, situation relating, and situation producing. Isolating, it is defined as categorizing, describing, and also naming factors. Example, no? You might begin with what is the level of school effectiveness in terms of, then think of a factor that you can isolate. So for example, in terms of teacher's performance, that is for 1.1. And another way to determine a level of school effectiveness is in terms of school performance. So in this type of question, you must learn how to chunk words to think of a word or factor that is appropriate for the question. Okay, so next is what we call factor relating. In this question, you have to determine the relationship of the variables. So for example, you can begin with how does the study habits influence the achievement level of the grade 11 students in their major subjects. So the factors or the variable that can be related are the study habits and then the achievement level of the students. Third is what we call situation relating. At this point, you have to yield hypothesis, make prediction to test what will really happen. So you can use the question, what are the effects of the traditional methods of teaching on the level of performance of the ABM students? Fourth is what we call situation producing. In this question, you have to develop a plan, an action. So your question can be like this. Based on the findings, what intervention program can be adopted to enhance the school effectiveness? Okay? So do not forget to subscribe and like this channel. And thank you for listening.